I want to take a moment to talk about how to write a hard email, right? And the art of writing a hard email, because it's something that no one wants to do, but you're going to have to do. And it's just difficult how to phrase it. All the emotion comes spilling out into the email. And it never goes right, never ends up feeling right. But alas, there is hope. So this comes from a place of I've had to do this in the past. It's something that I'm constantly having to do because now you're chasing people a lot of the time. But one of the things that I struggle with is the emotion that gets attached to that particular email. How do I get rid of that? I asked my dad this morning, and he said to me, look, bring it back to two things. One, it's either finances or quality. And if it's neither, you're not currently a priority for them. This project in its entirety is not a priority for them. So I thought about that and I was like, yeah, basically you're right. It's three things. So if it's quality, you want to spend time in the email explaining what it is about the quality that is the problem, trying to identify what the root cause is. And typically when it is quality, people start raising flags straight away if the quality is not right. They don't just shy away until, they've paid all the money and that's it. If the quality is a problem, they're going to raise red flags right from the get-go. Two, if it's financial and they can't afford to pay the invoices or whatever it might be, you are in a position where you can create a plan so it's paid out over a period of time, right? And that's a relatively easier one to do, because you want to continue to work with that brand, that company, whoever it might be, but it's just not the right moment for them to execute on an invoice and pay you for the work that you've done. And that's all right. It happens. You just need to have a conversation. First an email and then a telephone call. But third is the most difficult. What if the first two are okay and the last one is you just can't figure out what's going on? What do you do? I've been in this position before, and one of the routes that I took that I think is going to be successful is outline in an email that we've finished the work in the scope, that everything's been satisfactory or up to standard, or more than satisfactory has been up to standard. If you can include some sort of documentation to say that they could hark back to and be like, oh yeah, that was great. I did say that was great. Try and not blame anyone. It's no one's fault entirely. Blame could be on both sides. You're not sure. You're dipping your toes in the water to see what the feeling's going to be. It could come back aggressive. It could come back potentially calm. So in this case, what you could do is when you're not sure, bring it back to the finances and say, if we continue down this route and, whatever we've built isn't going live, or whatever the project isn't planning on doing, and there is no answers, you can say, we're going to have to implement some sort of monthly cost to keep our people keep our people's bandwidth available for you. It could be a minimum cost of X amount, whatever it is for you. And that will start a conversation, which is what you're trying to do. You're trying to get back in the ear of the brand and say, what is it that's the real problem here? Is it me? Is it you? Is it the situation? Are you not right financially? X, Y, Z. Operationally, what is it? So by doing that, what you're doing is allowing them to buy time if they truly want to. Maybe it is the wrong time and they just need this 2 months down the line and they've got it and it's going to work perfectly for them, they think. So you can do that and they can buy time, or you get to the root cause, and that's more important rather than sitting around and just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. So it's difficult. What I like to do is I write out all those points, what I think it's going to be. I then throw it into GPT and get it to kick out some sort of professional email. The prompt I use is, please help me write a professional email. This is the email, enter. What I then like to do is understand the impact of that email, because one, I'm reading it from someone who is personally invested in the email, but it could be received by someone who isn't as personally invested as you. And you need to be able to look at it with clean eyes, a clear head, and without all the emotion behind it, so that you can write the best email that's going to get to the point. So understanding the impact, it's going to do this, 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 these points are highlighted. And if you need to make the adjustments that will allow you to hammer home those points, whichever one it might be. But yeah, I just wanted to give my 2 cents on this. I found it difficult. There's nothing on the web about it. Hopefully it's useful to you.